Hey everybody, it's Jason with the Boardgame Mechanics, and today we're going to take a look at a game called Sentient. Sentient is a game designed by J. Alex Kevern, published by Renegade Games, plays 2 to 4 players, and is there a time? I'm not seeing the time, but it's pretty quick. You're not going to be spending more than an hour on this game. And effectively what you're trying to do is, the theme in the book, it's basically non-existent, and that's good for me. But effectively what you're trying to do is you are some kind of like information cyber network corporation thing, and you're trying to get these bots to program them to create some kind of artificial intelligence to help out the world with one of 5 different types of things like technology, information, transportation, military, and one more that I can't remember, but you'll see it in the overview. And you're going to be doing that over 3 rounds. There's some math, puzzle, dice manipulation, some area control, all that good stuff. And that's enough talking about it. Let's go on the table. Check it out. All right, so here's a game of Sentient, all set up for 2 players. Make sure I have enough room here. So you're going to be able to see all these cards. And we'll make it work. That's fine. All right. So to set up, you're going to give each player a player board. It's 2 random halves. You're going to get a starting half here. And then you're going to get a second half with a special investor that's specific to you. And then you're going to take 5 dice, roll them, put them on the appropriate spaces. You'll have 4 agents, 5 assistants, 1 turn order marker left over, and you're going to randomly pick a turn order and put it on round 1. Then you're going to shuffle the round 2, round 3, and round 1 investor tiles. Lay out all the round 1 ones like this. Put 4 cards in between them, and put 1 coin, 1 investor coin, under each of the investor tokens. Then we're ready to play. Now, the way this game works is on your turn, you're trying to take bots these are bots, the cards are bots, and program them into your network. And I don't know how well, let me just take this up some. There, that'll help. All right, I'm trying to make it so the cards can fit. And the way that works is, on my turn, I would take, so white's first. You have to take an agent and put it above a card. You may also take an assistant or multiple assistants up to the area, because you're trying to do an area control, which we'll get to earn these investor tokens, which are going to make the cards worth extra points at the end of the game. Or if you don't want to take a card, you can take your round marker, put it here, and sweep all the cards to get 4 new ones. And then you still get to keep going. You always get to take 4 cards because you have 4 agents, but it's going to let you cycle through some stuff here. All right, so white is first, and they have purple, so I think we'll go for that industry. So they're going to go up here. They're just going to send a 1. Now they'll send an assistant as well. They're going to take this card. All right, so the card has a couple things going on with it. It's worth 3 points if the die to the left and to the right are both even. Now, it also is going to adjust the dice accordingly. So the equal sign means the dice to that side of it will not change. The plus or minus means it will go up in value or down in value accordingly. If it's a 6, it goes to a 1. If it goes down from a 1, it goes to a 6. Let me slide this up a little more. All right, so let's see here. I guess I can just put this on the board. It doesn't really matter. Where do I want to put this card? I'm actually going to put it over here. So I'm going to put it over here. This die is going to stay the same because it's an equal. And this die is going to go up to a 6. And I'm fine with that because both of these, this plus this, needs to be even. And if so, I get 3 points. I now have 3 points. All right. As long as this die doesn't get adjusted, but we'll work with that in a little bit. All right, new card. Now it's red's turn, and red doesn't like any of these cards, so they're actually going to pass already. So they're going to take the cards away, And I'm going to get 4 new ones. Got an information bot, industry bot, industry bot, and industry. Dang, man. Or transportation. 2 transportations, an industry, and some information. Let's see. That information one seems fun. So I'm going to... No, it's not my turn. So it's white's turn again, because when you pass, that's your only action that you can do for that time. So white... Man, that's a nice one. Let's see. Even and odd. Alright, so they're going to take this one. They're going to come up here, take this. And they're going to put that right here. Now, I need this side to be even, this side to be odd. This side is an equals, so we're good there, that's odd. Now, this is going to adjust this down to a 5, which is odd, and I don't want that to happen. Another use for your assistance is you can calibrate the card, and basically that lets you ignore the programming needs for this card, and now I'm still good for my 4 points. All right, done. So that's why placing your assistants up at the top here for the control stuff gets a little tricky. All right, so I'm actually going to come here and here. I'm going to take this information bot and I'm going to put it right here. These are both going to go down 1. And I want this to go down 1 because the information bot says if one die is a 4 next to this die, it's worth 2 points. If both of them are a 4, it's worth 7. And I definitely want this to be worth 7 points. Let me do this here. I definitely want this to be worth 7 points. All right, done. New card. All right. Ooh, I need the military. That's what I need. I need the military. All right, so what does white want to do? There's no industry. So let's take, they're going to go over here and take this one because it works with their numbers. I'm just going to put an agent out. They'll take this card. And both of these dice need to be equal. So now this is not going to be good for them because it's going to bump this up to a 1 and it's going to bump this down to a 5, and those are not equal. But what they're going to do is they're going to calibrate both of these, and now these are both 6s, the dice are equal, and the card's worth 5 points. All right, new card. We have an information bot, needs value 2. All right, so back to red. What do I want to do? I'm going to take this card. So I'm going to go here with this. I don't need to do that. I'll just go there with that. I'm going to take this card. I'm going to put it right here. So what this is telling me is this die minus or plus this die needs to be less than or equal to 5. Now, here's the tricky part. I don't want to change this from a 4 because right now this card's worth 7 points. And if I change this to a 2, the math will now no longer work. So I'm going to double calibrate as well because I need these dice to stay exactly as they are. And done. All right, back to white. White, they have one more card, but they can still pass if they want to. And I don't think they're going to pass. They're just going to take... Let's take this one. They're going to go here. They're going to take this service bot. All right, so this service bot says this die stays a 1, which is good. That's what I want. This die would decrease. I don't want it to do that, so we'll go there. And this is going to score me points based on the higher die, higher number minus 2. So it's not going to score me any points. Yeah, I don't want that. I looked at that one wrong. Lame. All right, maybe I want... Let's go here and take this one. This one will work still. All right, so I'll take this one instead. This die needs to be less than or equal to that one, which is where we are right now, but this is going to go down by a 1. I don't want it to do that. So we'll calibrate and good to go. All right, new card. Red still has 2 turns because they passed. So their first turn will be all right. What do they want to do? I don't want that 5. Higher number -2. I don't want that. Don't want that. These cards stink. All right, I'm going to go here. I'll take this. I'm going to take this card. So higher die -2 is that many points. All right, so let's see. The 5 is fine. We'll make this a 2. That's fine. All right, done. Now back to white. They have nothing else to do, so they need to put their token over here because they're done. All right, then back to red, and I have one more card. Is there any card that I would like? Let's see. Not really. Not really. Not really. Okay, let's see. This is such a puzzle. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to come over here and I'll take this card, put it there. This one's going to stay the same, and I don't want this one to go up because it needs to at least be a 5 to score some points, so I'll keep that right there. All right, now that's the end of that phase. Now the next phase we're going to do is the area control to earn the investor token, so let's check that out. All right, so the way that the area majority control works is you're going to look what's in at each of the investor tokens, and whoever has a majority around those tokens is going to score the points. So we'll start with this one. There's only one area next to this one, and red has it. So red gets this, and that will go over here on your board, kind of like that. You can splay it out, but just for room's sake, I'm going to just do that. If there was a second place, you would get this token, but there's not, so nothing. Then we're going to award this one. I have 3 agents and 1 assistant, so that's 4 to their 1. So I'll get this one, and it can just go here. Again, it would sit on the top. I just don't have enough room. And then these can go away because there's no more battles for that. And then white will get this because they were second place. Then we'll go to this one. It's a tie. We both have 2 agents. So when there's a tie, if you look at agents first, whoever has the most, if there's still a tie, you look at turn order for the current round. So white breaks that tie. So white gets the industry token. And then I will get this. And then we can both take these back. Then we'll look at this one. White definitely has this one because they have 4. I have 1, so they'll get this. And I get the 1. These are gone. And then white has all of this, so no issue there. And they get all these back. All right, and that's the end of the round. You set up the next round by getting rid of all the rest of the cards. Bringing out the round 2 investor markers. Then you'll flip 4 new cards. I'm not going to set it up very well this time. I took a lot more time when I was setting it up at the beginning, but I just want you to see what's going on. And you put the tokens back, the point tokens. Then everybody takes their dice and re-rolls them. Gets rid of the cards that are on their board because those will score possibly some bonus points at the end of the game. So let's get rid of those. Dice, cards. Okay, get rid of those. All right, and then we re-roll, do all that stuff again, and we'll play through the second round and then the third round, and then we'll score. So the second and third round we'll play exactly the same way as we did that, but the third round, after the third round, we're going to do some additional scoring, and the way that works is we're going to look at our investor tokens here that we have, and we're going to score 1 point per investor token for each type of card. So let's just look at the industry right now. So white player has 2 industry tokens and 2 cards, so it's 2 times 2, so 4 points. So the more you go into a certain specific type of bot, you want to try to have those investor tokens as well, because it's going to score a pile of points. I also have these 2 transports. I have 1 transport token, so an extra couple points. You know, take the points from bank here and do all that. Then after all that, whoever has the most points is the winner. That's how you play Sentient. Let's go up the top, see what we think about it. All right, well, that was Sentient. So before we get into what I think about the game, let's look at some of the components that I really like. I am a huge fan of these dice. They're like a network, like a computer network. And the cool thing is they have the number, and they also have dots of the number that's on the die too. So there's 6, and you can see on the 1, there's 1 dot, and I think that's really cool. And the dice just look really nice. They're good quality. They roll nice. They're not pointy. The agents are just these cool little meeples here. Assistants are little discs, but not just boring discs. They have like some designs on the side, which is cool. And even this turn round order marker kind of looks like a computer chip, which I appreciate. I like all that. So that's the components. The rest of it is a lot of pink. It has this kind of art throughout, so I really like this box cover. It's nice to see a game that relies a little bit on pink. But the one thing I don't like is when you're getting the cards. Let me show you. Well, I'll show you here. All of the service cards, or all the types of cards, service was the other one I couldn't think of earlier. All the types of cards have the exact same art on them. And I don't know, it just feels like a missed opportunity. Like, you couldn't draw at least like 3 or 4 different types of pictures on the service cards. They don't have to be different, but I couldn't get another type of picture other than that. And then, you know, on the transport, it's all this. I don't know. It's good art. I just would like to see more of it, I guess. That's my issue there. So give me more art. I like the art. I like the futuristic theme. I like all that. But, yeah, I'd just like to see more of it. Now let's talk about the gameplay. This game is effectively math the game with some area control tacked on at the end. And I say math the game because every time you take a card, it's going to manipulate some dice. There's going to be math problems that are going to tell you what you need. For example, 7 minus the higher die on the left or the right. Simple math problems. I'm not saying they're like calculus or, you know, trigonometry problems, but still math. So if you don't like math, you're not necessarily good at, you don't want to do that in a game, this may not be something that you want to check out. But it's easy math, and I love the way that the math problems tell you how it's going to move the dice. I love this part of it, the plus and minus, or equal, like how it's going to manipulate the dice in your network and all that kind of thing. It's a nice mathematical puzzle, and I really like that. I also like that it doesn't outstay its welcome. It's, you know, you play this game at 2 players, you're going to be done in a half an hour, for sure. You play it at 4 players, which I have played it a couple times at 4. I don't know. I said it didn't take more than an hour, but if you're teaching, it might go a little over an hour, but gameplay is not more than an hour. So that brings me to another thing. I showed you the 2-player run through, and it's fine at 2 players. I like it at 2 players, but I do think at higher player counts, which is not something that I normally say, this game is better because the cards are cycling out a little bit more. The area control is a little more interesting because in a 2-player game, if I go to every location but I don't win anything, I still get that coin. So I'm still getting at least 5 points. But in a 4-player game or even a 3-player game, you may not get anything. So it's a little more tactical of what's going on up in that area control section, and the cards cycle out a little bit more. Gameplay is exactly the same, but I think the chaos in a higher player count game makes it a little more fun in my opinion. So yeah, that's my thoughts. So I'm going to give this a BGM and Tough to Seal, and I'm going to give this, let's see, what do I want to give this? I think an 8 out of 10 on BGG is good. So a 4 out of 5 wrenches on an arbitrary wrench scale, that means absolutely nothing. But we like to give it the games that we enjoy, and that's what I'm going to do. So that is Sentient from Renegade Games. I'm Jason with the Board Game Mechanics, and as always, keep gaming.